Live? Yeah, we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the negativity zone. No, it's a joke. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be. I don't know what I'm gonna be. Not negative. I'm gonna leave that to my guest today, and that's Dash. How are you doing?
Hey everybody, Dash Phasa here from the Negativity Zone, lead broadcaster in the Pessimism and Bummed Out department. I am okay, not good, not bad, a little bit sore from, my first game back from injury, but outside of that, I finished the game, saw the news, and I was like, ugh. So,
Not happy.
yeah. No, so I finished my match and I was looking at my phone and I saw some of our members on our members chat give us the news of what's going on, and I was reading it and I'm like, oh, come on, guys.
I mean, some might be happy with the news because I know a lot of people like weren't a fan of bringing Di Maria in, so I think they will be happy. I guess. Um, I'm not happy. From you know what? Let me wait. Let me open this because otherwise it's gonna move away. Oh, come on, open. Okay, I'm gonna let you talk about it. So, the Medea deal, we can say it's off. Let's say it's off. The leak or
Yeah.
like the news is like, come on, it's off. It makes no sense. It's not
Yeah,
100% off. Let's say I said it was 98%. I'm gonna say it's 98% off now. Because the news is what it
yeah.
is. So I'm gonna let you talk about it because apparently I'm too critical for the management based on nothing concrete. It's my opinion, but apparently I cannot have my own opinion because I'm making stuff up. But it is what it is. So you go. Wait, what do you think about the situation,
So
basically?
so the thing is like, yeah, I'm gonna go with you. It's probably 85 to about 95% off just due to the offers from Barcelona and Benfica, and his family wants to go to Spain, so he wants to go to Spain more than likely. To be honest with you, just going off the reports, they're saying that it wasn't really because the club was trying to finish the deal. Di Maria held out in the deal, so it kind of throws me in the loop that he wasn't really fully committed to us if he waited this long. I was happy if we got him for a one-on-one, so a 1+1 deal. So like he plays well this year, we give the option to extend him for another year. I'm not a big fan of bringing him in for a 1-year deal because to me it's just it doesn't make sense because like it doesn't matter how he plays at the end of June next year, we're going to be back in the same position and like hey, who are we going to bring in? The 1+1 worked for me better because it gives us at least a 2-year buffer to sort something out and kind of have an idea on where we want to go. I'm trying to keep it as optimistic as possible because there could be something else that comes in that we might get now outside that might end up being better than Di Maria. It sucks, especially because he absolutely dismantled Italy in the friendly that they had a couple days ago, which like I mean he shows that he still got that top quality, but the fact that he was pushing for only a 1-year deal, like I know Julian had his thoughts with Justin about the motivation aspect being of it, and if we look at it as Juventini, that could potentially be an issue because if he did a 1+1, then it kind of shows that he still wants to play at a top level. But if he's just saying, I want a 1-year deal, my family wants to live by the beach, that's the hey, in translation in football speak, that's the hey, I want to get myself in condition for the World Cup and then just coast for the rest of the season. And if you look at it with Barcelona, if he does go to Barcelona just because of Barcelona's depth and how they're set up, he'll be able to start those games at the beginning of the year, get to the World Cup, and then towards the end of the season, he's going to coast. Because let's be real here, Barcelona, they might challenge for La Liga, but that's really it what they're going for. I don't see them even if they were to get, unless they get the Lewandowski deal, that changes things. But even with that I don't understand how Barcelona can sign 100 players every window without any breach of financial fair play. Same with PSG, but we look at it and it sucks. I'm not in a great mood. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm kind of indifferent about it. But the only thing that we can do is we can just look at other options at this point. And no, Quadrado is not effective enough to hold down the right wing and get someone to cover him. To be honest with you personally, I do not want Quadrado as a starter, so we might have to look for a starting right wing. And no, Justin, that does not mean Zaniolo because Zaniolo does not play right winger consistently at Roma, and that's one of the things I had a discussion in the members chat with some of our members was I think one of the concerns and why Zaniolo is being brought up right now is it's like maybe he blows up and does well and we can get him cheaper versus his price getting inflated. And that was one of the things because we're linked with Zaniolo and with Milan as well. And for me, my only concern with Zaniolo is if you look at how Mourinho plays a 3-5-2. Zaniolo plays as a support striker to Tammy Abraham. So essentially, Tammy Abraham takes all the heat and Zaniolo goes behind and either scores or assists Tammy. For him to play a right winger, and Ali and I both agreed on it. We agreed that how does Zaniolo fare as a true right winger unless Allegri flips the script and changes the formation, which we haven't seen any reports on it. Um, the only thing is like Zaniolo, the last time he played as a right winger, it was in the national team with Italy, and he blew out his ACL. That was his last game as a right winger. So I'm a little bit concerned that our backup is going to be Zaniolo and Bottilardi, just because Bottilardi can't really play against the top level teams. He'll be good against an Empoli, but I just don't see him being the player that we need for what we're trying to shoot for. But I tried to keep it as positive as possible, but we're kind of stuck in a loop, unfortunately.
Yeah. Before I give my opinion, Alfredo Padula just said that Juventus are now ready to push for Kostic. So that's that. Which is also a point I want to bring up. I'll bring it up now. Otherwise, I forget. Di Maria was a priority of Allegri. And that's my issue. Again, you're not really backing your coach, and that's an issue in my opinion. It's an issue. It has been an issue at the club for a while, and apparently it's not going to change. So that's one thing I don't like. You need to give the coach what he wants. He's not asking for something completely out of this world, by the way. It's not an insane deal. He's not asking the club to sign Mbappe. He's asking him to do a very realistic deal. Even if it's 1 year, it's realistic. You're not giving the coach what he wants once again. Again, if he comes out and he says, I want Witzel, I understand the club is saying, what? But it's different. So that's one thing I want to say. Let me check this one. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is the news is changing. Now it's the club is doubting about the deal. Where was this 1 month ago when you knew what Di Maria was asking for? They knew what they were asking, what he was asking for. That's my issue. So you wasted 1 month. That's what almost a month, like 4 weeks. But apparently they've been in talks with Di Maria even before those 4 weeks. So, but I'm saying I'm keeping it simple, safe. You wasted 4 months because nothing changed in those weeks. Nothing changed in those 4 weeks. He wanted a 1 year deal. The club knew it. They waited so long. Barcelona came in. Things changed. And now the club is. And now the news is, oh, they gave him an ultimatum. Nah, you guys did nothing. You feel you're losing it and you know we need to move on now. So that's an L. And people can come at me and saying you're making stuff up. Fine. Like if you don't want to read in between the lines and just want to go with everything that comes out there, like the Dybala thing with the deal. Like we said on the channel, it's not done. Like it makes no sense. And it wasn't done. That's fine. But you don't need to tell me you're shitting on the club. Because the club hasn't, like, the deal was there. Allegri asked for Di Maria. Not an impossible deal. You couldn't get it over the line. Okay, that's fine. Move on. My concern now is there's not a free agent out there of the same quality. So you need to go and spend. And the names out there, I don't want to spend a single euro on it. I'm not going to lie. Because if we spend, like you said, let's say 45 million on Zaniolo, 30 plus on Berardi, I'm going to sit back and I'm like, we didn't really improve compared to last season. We didn't.
No, not at all.
Probably we spent the entire budget without sales we spent it. And did we improve in that position? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. I really don't.
Not massively. It's like Berardi woke up. Again, I'm not saying it's Berardi or Zaniolo, but like those are the names now. Berardi will probably score more goals than Bernardeschi. That's not hard, by the way. It's not an achievement.
Yeah.
He will do, but to get this club to the next level again, I'm sorry, that ain't it. You know, and my concern is if we spend 40 to 50 mil, like if the club turns around and say, well, you know what, we're bringing in Anthony, I'm like, okay, I'm on
I
board with
get,
that. But the club is not
yeah.
doing that. They're bringing in someone, and I will sit there and say, is that where our budget has gone? And I turn around and I see Alessandro Pellegrini, I see Gatti instead of Chiellini. I'm like, we're going nowhere. Now, I can be completely wrong. Like Misak, he's very optimistic in the Discord group. He thinks we have a big budget. I don't believe that. We signed Vlahovic, and the club basically admitted like that's from summer transfer budget we used in January. So that's my biggest issue. And when I remember, like, was it a few days ago? People like that was a discussion on Twitter. Oh, people are very impatient. It did the transfer widow, the window didn't even open
Might
yet.
as well call it the transfer widow
We
at this
might as
point.
well. But like it hasn't even opened yet. I'm like, I don't what? Like what? I don't get that statement. I don't get it. I'm not asking for the club to have signed 6 players by now. I never asked for that, you know. But those
No,
two, Pogba and Di Maria, were priorities. You should
Yep.
have got it over the line. You didn't, and now you need to move on to. I want to say better things, but for the moment, I don't see better things on that position. Like you said,
Yeah. Well,
Zaniolo. That's like you could you could have
that's
given
funny. That's
Dybala the
all.
new deal then.
Yeah, it's almost like a lateral at best with Dybala leaving, where you trade in Zaniolo because, like, for me, and like I'm not crapping on Zaniolo. It's not that I personally have a vendetta, but for me, it's just like he's a huge question mark as a player because it's like at his time in Roma, he's played on the wing, he's played as a center forward, he's been shifted around. There isn't like, for example, and I said this in the when I was talking, I think I was talking with Hanin in the Discord chat where I was saying like with Chiesa, like Chiesa, you knew that he was a pure out and out winger, regardless if he was on the left or on the right. You knew that he was a winger. And like with Vlahovic, he's your target man, your number 9. That's what you're getting, and that's what it is. For me, it's like with Zaniolo, I'm like, what is he? Because he's gone through 3 coaches at Roma. So he had Fonseca, Jose, and then I believe the coach prior to, was it Spalletti? Maybe. But like he's had different coaches go through, he's gone through different coaches, or no, it's Francesco, Di Francesco. That's when he broke out. So like for me, it's like he had 3 separate coaches where he wasn't really a consistent player, and then you also have to take into account that he missed 2 years for injury, and the club Roma's asking for 50 million for him, and he hasn't accomplished anything. Like, yeah, he got a goal in the final for the Conference League, but like Tammy Abraham had a record-breaking season as a striker, and it's like I don't see the reasoning for the validation for Zaniolo. Like everyone's gonna call me crazy, but like I understand, like for example, Berardi being possibly 30 to 40 because Berardi can play 30 plus games without a significant time off. I'm not saying that Berardi's great or good, but he's essentially going to be there for 30 to 40 games, and he does assist against the smaller teams in Serie A. Again, I'm not holding him to a high standard saying that he's a great player, but it's like with him, you know what you're getting with him versus Zaniolo. It's not good. Like you're not getting anything good out of Berardi, but you know that like, hey, I'm getting a guy that's he's terrible against the bigger teams, but he can play against Empoli. Whereas Zaniolo, it's like, okay, he's fast, he plays as a second striker, I think he can play as a right winger. He hasn't led anywhere in the stats column as far as anything that goes, assists or goals per season for Roma. Like he hasn't had one of those seasons, so like that's why I'm a little bit iffy. Like, is he a provider? Is he a scorer? Like, is he just a Bernadeschi that just plays all over the field, but he's better than Bernadeschi? But I mean, again, if you're comparing him to Bernadeschi, the bar's already underneath the ground. It's not even above ground. So it's like my only concern is like if we're getting Zaniolo for 50 million, that's a huge question mark for me that I'm really concerned about. If we're able to get him cheaper, then yeah, okay, that's fine if we're able to lower the price on him, which is possible. But like, I need to see more of Zaniolo before I'm on the Zaniolo hype train because it's like I think this is like the first time he actually put together a full season. So like we
And
haven't actually seen him play for consistent seasons where it's like again, Chiesa, he played for consistent seasons. I think since he was like 16 or 17 and we bought him when he was
but
20, 21.
my issue, like he played a consistent season, Zaniolo. I think he scored 2 goals in Serie A. I think he scored. I think that's what he did. He scored 2 goals. Let me see what Alfredo's saying. Um, what the hell did happen? Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
They offered. Yeah. And like basically, Costi just waiting on Juve's offer before taking the new deal of Frankfurt in consideration. Also, people like the video. A lot of people in today already, so please like the video. But the Zaniolo thing is, like you said, I don't see him playing on the wing consistently. He scored 2 Serie A goals. He scored goals in the Conference League, but he scored 2 goals, I think, in Serie A, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Like that's Bernardeschi level, by the way. I think Bernardeschi has more. Another Serie A. But you know what? Like that's not good. Like that's not what Allegri is asking for. That's not what
Yeah.
we are asking for. That's
Well,
actually shocking. If you just look
yep.
at the numbers, it's shocking. And people can say, "Oh, he has talent." And I saw someone saying, "Okay, I'll bring also this up." I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, if Di Maria doesn't want to play for us, we just want players to play for the club." We finished fourth place 2 consecutive seasons. We need to pay players to come to play for us if you want good players. It is what it is. That's the reality. We are not
Yeah.
Real Madrid, Man City, where players are like, take a bit less, but we are going to win. We're going to dominate. We're not in that position. So you can sit here and say, I just want players who want to play for the shirt. We're going to build a kind of average squad again. You know? It is
Yep.
what it is.
No.
Like people need to see what's in front of you. 2 consecutive 4-play seasons, 2 crap seasons with the same players, and you're gonna add, I'm gonna say little to no quality at the like. Okay, Pogba is quality, but you know the
It's not
injury,
enough. It's
the
not enough.
injury concern is a question mark. And again, I know it's early June. I'm not expecting the club to have 6 targets locked in and they're gonna do the medicals tomorrow. I never asked for that. Never. But they have been in talks with Di Maria for a long time, you know?
Yeah.
And
No,
for it to
yeah.
fall through like this, it's not a good look. And people can say whatever they want. It's not a good look. Especially when it was well known that he was a priority for Allegri. And I don't know. For me, that's an issue. Also, Bernardeschi is close to joining Napoli.
Yeah, and that sentence right there, Bernardeschi and Napoli, is all that you guys need to know about how competitive and how ambitious Napoli are as a club, and that is it. But darn it, I lost my train of thought. But see, the thing is now, without Di Maria, or if Di Maria doesn't come,
Yeah,
so like
they have
my thing
open
is
talks
like,
with Berardi. According
so my
to
question,
according to Di Marzio, Juventus have
yeah.
open talks with for Berardi.
So the thing is now that I'm kind of curious, are we still gonna run a 4-3-3?
I have
Because
no
it's
idea.
like, because like you think about it, like what do we have personnel wise for a 4-3-3? Like, do we even have the right personnel wise? Because that's the thing that like worries me a little bit, because it's like we don't have a starting right winger. Quadrado is not a starting right winger. I think he's almost done. I think he's on his last leg. And then Chiesa's still out on the left. I mean, we only have Vlahovic as a striker, so it's like, is it all like a show? Are we just going to switch to a 4-2-3-1 at this point? Because if you're linked with Zaniolo, that's what you're going to run, because Zaniolo is going to play the cam behind Vlahovic if we do get Zaniolo. But I don't know. I mean, like, there hasn't been any news as far as formation goes or how we're going to line up. And then I don't really, I'm just, boy. And then the chat's going crazy. Everyone's losing their mind over the Berardi links. But hey, look, you can say this: at least Berardi can play 30 games a season. not that many players we've had recently can do
Rabiot
that.
can play 50 games a season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the issue, you know.
Yeah, no, I
Again,
gotcha.
it's Di Marzio. That's one. Like Romeo said, basically, like the Berardi and Zaniolo links are like when the newspapers have nothing to write. But I don't like Berardi for so many reasons. The fact that he said no to so many clubs until 28 because he was so comfortable at Sassuolo because he's the main guy. I like that's what like, people were complaining about Di Maria wanting to basically train for the World Cup and don't have an issue with Berardi saying no because he was so comfortable. I don't get that because for me that's worse. Like you have absolutely no ambition until you're 28, no ambition. I've never seen anything like that before. I know if you're
Yeah.
playing like Totti for Roma, I get it. It's still a big club. He's playing for Sassuolo. Like there are 1,000 fans in that stadium when they play home games.
Yeah,
It
I'm
is what it
surprised
is.
he's valued at 40. I mean,
I don't
he's
believe that.
pretty much hit his. I don't either. I think he's hit his upside already. I think he's 20, 25 at best.
Yeah, like
Yeah, because like he's hit his upside. I mean, like there isn't like he's an exciting prospect because like think about it. If Berardi's 40 million, then Raspadori's 50 should be if we're going off of that logic right there. Because it's like how is somebody that like is because he's what 28, 29 right now, or has he hit
really
30?
quickly, Di Marcio saying Morata's now getting closer to just return on another low.
Well, I mean that fills the left hole or the left winger hole that we have for now.
Ah, Jesus.
I know. I'm just saying. But yeah, hey, who knows? We might be able to steal DePaul from them too.
Yeah, that story it makes absolutely no sense.
I know. I don't get how who in their right mind at Atletico is like, hey, let's switch out Keane for DePaul. Like, I don't get that at all. But uh um it's yeah, I don't understand the whole Berardi validation. That makes no sense. I don't understand how someone like that is 40 million. I guess yeah, he does have great assists, but like every time Sassuolo played a good team this season besides us, they got beat like 4 or 5-0. So it's like
Oh, yeah, Romeo tweeted the same thing about Berardi. Oh, Jesus, like that's actually embarrassing. I don't know what to tell you.
yeah, hey everybody put crying emojis in the chat.
I actually don't know what to tell. I'm confused. I'm confused. Let me see what Romeo is saying. He's saying, oh, why can I not open this? So he's saying first contacts with confirmed today between Juventus and Sassuolo for Berardi. The reasoning over the overall cost with Juventus called upon to decide whether or not to accelerate on this front deal, basically. Yeah, that's shocking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's appalling. Well, think about it though, Ali. What if you were to get Berardi for 20 million? Would you still
No,
be
no, no.
against it?
Yeah, I
Not,
don't want him. I don't want him.
not at all.
No, I don't want
Okay.
him.
Well,
Actually, like I said, we have so many holes to fix, so much to do. We cannot throw away a single euro. We can't.
I gotcha. I gotcha. But yeah, it's funny. Masak is like Hanin spoke it into existence because Hanin was talking about it last night in our members chat, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I think we're gonna go for Berardi and pay something stupid for it." So thanks,
Yeah,
Hanin. Appreciate
I'm
it.
not, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked with this club. I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah, but and to piggyback off of what you said about the management, the thing that kind of flabbergasts me with our whole Juventus management is like the only names that we hear consistently were Pogba and Di Maria, and then it's like everything else was a scatterfest. Like there isn't like apparently there was context for Molina, but even then there isn't really anything that's like consistently solid about our contacts with Molina. So it's like, what are we going for? Like you hear like, hey, some clubs are interested in purchasing Rabiot. You hear some people that want to purchase McKennie, but even then, it's like we don't like. Has the club decided, hey, these are the players that are going to get sold. These are the guys that we're getting rid of. This is the people that we're bringing in. Because it's like I don't understand what's going on right now. Because it's like we're trying so hard for Pogba and Di Maria, and then it's like we don't know what else we're doing, and it's like I don't know at this point where it's like it makes no sense to me. Like somebody threw in Sarge Gnabry, and I'm like, how are we gonna, if our wage structure is as strict as it is, how are we gonna pull in Sarge? Like he won't play for 7 million a season. I highly doubt that. So it's like uh, we're in this really awkward space because it's like there's good players that are out there, but we just don't want to drop the money for it as far as salary wise, and then it's like ugh, it's a mess. It's a big mess right now.
I'm actually I don't know what to say. Like I'm not even looking forward. If you're signing Berardi, I'm done. Like I'm not looking forward to the new season whatsoever. You can sign Pogba or whatever. I'm like, yeah, great. You sign Berardi. So what's the point? Like I don't know what's the club telling me? Because I've seen
The
Berardi
club's
on
telling
a
you.
higher level in Europe. It's absolutely shocking. Like he's completely out of place. He doesn't belong in that setup. Like he's slow. He needs so much time. It's actually unbelievable that the club is actually taking this serious. And we like as fans, we should like make. I said many times, don't drop the standards. What's the point if the club is keep lowering the standards? Like you can sit here and say, the club is lowering the standards of this club. They're actively trying to do it now. So it's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. I'll keep saying it. It's a waste of money.
Yeah. Next thing later, we're just going to hear that Delit is going to get sold within the coming weeks too, with just how crazy everything's going.
Yeah, like if the league says tomorrow I don't sign the deal, I'm gone. I can't applaud him because he shows he has ambition. I'm actually encouraging him to say I'm out of here. If the summer ends, okay, you get Pogba, but let's say you get Berardi and you keep Morata, but like you keep Rishido because that's the direction the club's going in now. You just bring in Gatti and all those things. If the league says I'm out, does anyone blame him?
Nope.
I don't blame him. Like the fact that like the only reason Chiesa and all those players are not saying this because they're Italian. They will stay a bit longer. It's different. Some of them love
Mhm.
the club. It's Italian. If I was playing for, let's say, if I was playing for Man U, I'm not a Man U fan. I made it to Man U. If you're crap and I'm that good, I'm gone. I don't care about you guys. I need to think about myself. Like I don't love the club. I didn't support this club. I'm not English. I'm out. But these players have a career. So when people come out and say, "Oh, the league is talking bullshit," he's talking facts. He's saying what we all think. This team is not good enough. He's just saying it, and people are getting all mad about it. Okay, you can get mad about it, but don't sit back and the season start and say, "Oh, what is this? This is abysmal. This is crap." You cannot do that. If you don't allow the league to do that, you cannot do that. We as fans can say that, but a player thinking about his own career cannot do that. It's bullshit. That's why I wasn't on the channel when the Lake stuff came out because I know I was gonna say things and people in the chat were getting mad. But like, I agree with everything he said. This team is not good enough. It's not good enough. And then you're in talks with Berardi. Oh boy, it's gonna be a very long season,
Yeah, I just hope Delict's not on Twitter reading that right now because
guys.
he might say, "Hey, I'm going to Man U to go play with
He's out.
Frankie."
He's out.
Yeah.
Guys, like the video because a lot of people are in. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel because if you sign Berardi, Julian texted me with a crying meme saying I need to do a Berardi coach's corner. He will do. He made a Di Maria one. It's loading. We just need to push it.
Yeah, hey Julian, you might need to just put that in the back burner, my guy. I don't think that's gonna work for you anymore.
uh, yeah. I cannot. Why am I always lying for this kind of crap?
I know.
Why me? Why
It's
me?
like the best ones were, so it's like before I was like actually on the channel speaking during the lives, I'd be like listening into it, and it's like I'd be driving and I'd just hear Alejandro pause for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh crap, something bad happened, and he's just like, so we have news. we're not doing this. We just told that we're going for Skamaka instead of Vlahovic, and I was like, crap. But
Oh,
so
I'm
someone
so
in the
confused. I'm so
no,
confused.
I got you. I'll read the chat real quick. So somebody was mentioning, Berardi's not that bad. No, we get it. We're not saying that he's absolute dog meat, but like the thing is like for me, one of the big red flags was the North Macedonia game, like the amount of shots he bottled when he was playing for Italy. Because the thing is like Sassuolo don't play in the Europa League, the Conference League, or the Champions League, so you can't really give Berardi an assessment against like European tier players, where like the entire sign is on you. Like the two recent indicators for Berardi were the Euros with Italy and then the World Cup qualifiers. And for the Euros, he played well against Turkey and Wales, but it's Turkey and Wales, and then and he lost his starting job to Chiesa in the knockout rounds. And then like again with North Macedonia qualifying, the amount of shots and bottling he did throughout that entire stretch was absolutely appalling. I mean, don't get me wrong, the whole team stunk it up, but Berardi also just went to crap too. So it's like you watch Sassuolo this season where it's like, yeah, they'll do good, they'll score a free flowing style of play, they'll get the goals against the Empolis, the Genoas, and all that. But like when you watch him against when he played against Milan, when he played against Napoli, when he played against us, when he played against Inter, when he played against Roma, and all those clubs, he's too slow when it comes to the right backs. Because like if you're playing as a pure winger, so a pure right and left winger, like when we play FIFA or PES, whatever anyone plays, what's the number one stat you're looking at for your winger? Pace. Because the thing is if you have a fast winger, it changes your game. If you have a slow winger that's easy to be contained, it's not good. And Berardi doesn't have pace. He might have like a good touch or a good pass or a good through ball, but we're playing in the Champions League, so we're playing against some elite teams that have great wing backs that are fast, that can easily contain them. So it's like you look at like for example, and the perfect example is when Berardi plays against those top tier teams in Italy where he struggles. I mean, like he just doesn't perform that well, and he's a bottler. I mean, I don't want to because like that's why we call him Bottle Arty, but he just can't handle the top level squad. So that's one of the reasons why I don't want to say we're dumping on him, but we're not too thrilled.
It's
And
it's
saying
like
not too thrilled is a little bit of an understatement. But yeah, and
guys.
okay, someone's like, this is not a video game. We get that, dude. But like,
Come
you look
on,
at,
like
come on, man.
what's
Like,
I don't okay, it's not a video game. Okay. So that's why we need to sign effort, like not good enough players. Like
yeah,
I don't get it. And people saying Berardi rumors are misdirection. That's what Romeo said yesterday, and now he's tweeting out we are in talks. So you can make it up. You can make from it whatever you want. I know it's not a video game. I'm not asking the club to sign Bremer, Milinkovic Savic, Anthony, Molina. I'm not asking like I think nobody on this channel said that. I don't think any Juve fan
no,
said that. Nobody's that unrealistic, you know. Nobody said that. But we were asking for at least some quality. Come on, he said no to Juve 2 times, no to Milan. Now in 28, he wants to leave Sassuolo. Like, okay, I'm just confused. I'm confused. Like, maybe people in the chat, like, I'm gonna make a poll because there are how many people are in the chat? 65 people,
60.
only 28 likes, so that's embarrassing. Please like the video.
Yeah,
If
hey,
we're
that's
actually
why
gonna,
that's
I'm
why
gonna
Di
make a
Maria's not coming. We need 50 likes.
yeah, that didn't work with Juventus. I'm gonna make a poll because otherwise the chat is going to be a mess. So I just asked, do you want Berardi? Like just simple yes or no. Um, so let that poll run for a while. Is it up? It's up. So yeah, like the video and vote on the poll so we know that. But like going from Di Maria to Berardi is it's going from winning the Scudetto to fourth place. That's it. That's the comparison. It's from winning the league with Sarri to scraping top four on the final day, the last 50 minutes of the season with Pirlo. That's the drop off, basically. That's actually the drop. And again, okay, I'm not saying Berardi is an absolutely horrendous player. I never said that. I have a certain level for this squad or where I envision the squad to be in the coming 5 years. Because okay, let's say 4 years, because the club spoke about a 3-year plan. It doesn't look like they have a clear plan. I'm sorry.
No.
And people can say, "Oh, but you don't have proof. You're just going off newspaper." Like, what should we base it on? I don't know. So we just need to stay quiet for 3 years now. Don't form an own opinion. Like some like I love the club, but some love the club blindly. Like they will find an excuse for every single thing this club do. You know, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, but they gave you Vlahovic. I'm like, yeah, we needed a striker. Yeah.
See, my thing that
What's
I'm
the
worried
point?
about.
Wait, really quickly. So they gave us Vlahovic. Now we can just sit back, and just sign crap players because hey, they gave us Vlahovic. Vlahovic is gone. He's not gonna stay the next 3 years if this is the direction you're going in as a club. Again,
Yeah.
I consider it in the end of the transfer market, and it's completely turned off. We just need to react on the news, what's out there, and Romeo is, let's say, he's the best for Juve news. So if he says we're in talks with Berardi, we're in talks with Berardi.
Yeah, and the thing is like I'm really concerned because like the thing is like you look at like the great Inter Milan squads where they had all those great players and then like they never replaced the outgoing players with good players and then they became banter clubs for 10 years. So it's like, you go from Samuel Eto'o to a almost dead Diego Forlan for Inter, and then it's like you go from Zlatan for AC Milan to like a Torres that could barely play, and then like they were in a slump for almost 5, 6, 7 years. So it's like the thing is like that's my greatest fear is like you get a Vlahovic or like for example you sell Delict and then you just replace him with Gatti and Danilo as a center back and you don't get anything else. Like that right there is like an absolute like red flag for me. So it's like same thing with like we tried to get Di Maria and then we're like, oh cool, we're just gonna go get Berardi. At that point I would just rather change the formation and look for different players to suit a different play style because it's whatever the 4-3-3 isn't going to work if we're not getting the right pieces for it. So if that's going to be the case, then we're going to have to switch formations and tactical plans for what we're going to do because it's like I don't even, to be honest with you, I don't even have anything right now. I'm lost for words because it's like what are we doing? Where are we going? Like
I'm gonna say this: if this was 2015, 16, and we had a top squad and we added Berardi, I'm like, it's gonna work. We have such a good squad. He's gonna come in. He's gonna fit in just because the team is so good, well oiled. He will do his thing. It will work. Like we had average players coming in that squad doing a job, like just average players, and they did a job because the team was so dominant. We were so good. That's fine, but that's not the case. We need players who are coming in and gonna drag this team out of the mud. That's what we need.
Yeah.
And someone in the chat is saying we're in talks with Mudrik. I never heard of that player. I'm not gonna lie, and there's no disrespect. I never heard of him. That's like again, it's not a big story, but like I'm not even paying attention to that links because we need quality. Like that's what we need. Like I said, yeah, you can move on Dybala position wise. I'd rather have playing Dybala out of position at this point.
yeah, at this point.
Like at this point, I'm like, what the hell have we done?
But like think about him though, like even his thing's a mess because like I thought like everyone was saying he was a done deal to Inter, but like he still hasn't signed, and then apparently PSG did a Skype call with him, and now he's thinking about PSG, and then I think it's Atletico Madrid is also trying to pick him up as well. So it's like, ugh. But I don't know. I mean, Merduk might be good, but does he? So, chat, does he fit in a 4-3-3? Because I don't know that much about him. I think Misak knows him better than we do. So, has anyone seen him play? Like, what's the form? Like, what club does he play for?
He played for Shakhtar. I think he plays for Shakhtar.
I think is it Shakhtar?
I think he plays for Shakhtar. Like, come on, like it's like signing 3 new mechanics this season. Like, nobody knew of them. They will be pretty okay, but like they're not gonna meet the difference of us winning the title or not. Like, I'm sorry. Come on, let's be realistic with this. Let's be realistic with what we have, like the squad we have at the moment. We need quality. And oh my God, Berardi! I cannot believe Berardi.
See, it's just like those players like that, man. They're depth players. Those are players that you pick for 20, 25 million to come in on the bench, and then it's like a Muriel almost. It's literally a Muriel. Like you get Muriel not to be the guy that changes, essentially that leads your team, but it's the guy that comes in, bangs a goal within 15 or 10 minutes at the end of the game. And it's the same thing with Berardi. It's like a change of pace substitute. Like if he could be a super sub, awesome, but like he's not the guy that I want starting. Could you imagine your right wing being Quadrado and Berardi? Like that's just like you have a gaping hole on the right side of the field. And I don't I'm going to put my money on this and say that I don't think we play a 4-3-3 next year. I think we play a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1. For me I don't see it. Like I don't see how there's gonna be a 4-3-3 because like even I think what was it? I think it was Nicolo Sierra said that we stopped going after Raspadori. Like Raspadori is likely to remain at Sassuolo, and like he would be the only player I would be okay with picking up from Sassuolo at that much for that much money, for about 30-40 million. And even that's a stretch too. But I don't know. Trying to stay positive here, but like yikes, just yikes.
Yeah, that this is not like going from the season we have to this is just. I want it like at the start of the show. I said I'm gonna be positive. Well, that's not gonna happen. That's out of the window. Like, oh Jesus, it's just bad. And again, I consider it like in 5 months and Berardi is playing amazingly under Allegri. I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. That's my
God,
issue.
you know how funny it would be if that happens and then someone clips this video and
He
sends it
can,
to you and I and like remember I'd be happy. I'd be the first guy.
yeah.
So I'll say this. I'll say it on
Again,
the record. If he tears it up, I will be the first guy that I will call Alejandro and say I'm gonna hop on a live and wear a stupid hat and say, hey, I said he sucked. He played well. My bad.
if he comes in and he is amazing, I'm gonna sit here and say I was wrong. But my opinion at the moment is no. It's that simple. Like I don't like Demiral. I know a lot of people like Demiral. I've said it many times. I don't like Demiral. I'm not a big Demiral fan. If he comes back, for some reason stays, plays amazingly, I'm gonna give him his credit. You know. But I'm gonna give my opinion. I don't like Berardi. I never liked Berardi, by the way. I was never a fan. I know he scores goals in Serie A, but I just don't watch. I don't love to watch him play.
Yeah, I
It's
liked
just
him.
it's
Yeah, I
sad.
liked him back. I liked him back in 2013, 2014 when he was like when we loaned him out to Sassuolo, but then it's like when we were gonna bring him back in, he like turned us down and requested a transfer to Sassuolo, and I never understood that at the time. Thought that was so weird back.
Because he's weak mentally in his head. He's weak. Like let's say how it is. If you can go to Juve back then, he was scared to fight for his place, and people say, "Oh, he's smart. He's 28. He's playing for Sassuolo. That's not smart." Like I don't care what people say. That's not smart. That's being scared to compete for your position. You're comfortable. You're getting paid a lot of money at Sassuolo, which he is, and you're the main guy. Nobody can talk to you in that team because you're the best player. Not even the fans, because let's be honest, it's not a big fan base. They don't have a big like. It's
No.
very comfortable. Like he can do whatever he wants over there. So that's something that's already screaming to me. Not good. If you want to compete, if you want to win week in, week out, with the season on the line, if I just think back at that mentality, I'm like, that's not good. That's not something I want.
Man, and I mean it's like what Sassuolo, they don't even push for European places for them. Anywhere in between 8 and 12 or 13 is pretty much how they're shooting for it, but because it's like he's another Bernadeschi in my opinion. Just Bernadeschi thought he's better than he was, but I'm saying as far as like a mental aspect of it, like just super weird. And yeah, Murad says literally what I have my number one red flag. He missed the open crucial goal. Like that to me right there was like, dude, seriously. But yeah, and then Hanin with the co-owning. Yep, we co-owned him. He didn't want to stay with us, so we
I will
left
say
him.
this:
So
we shipped out Kulusevski to bring in Berardi. By the way, if that's the case, that's the
yeah,
worst piece of business
yeah.
I've seen in a very long time.
Well, you know what's ironic is Kulusevski plays great as a right winger in a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3, and now we sold him. So now I just feel even more dumb because it's like, okay, cool. If we were gonna do this, then maybe we should have kept him or just did a single loan where we can bring him back. But uh, like at first, we all thought it was a great deal that we sold Kulisevsky for 45 million or loaned him with an option to buy for around 40. But like now, it's like, I think we actually shouldn't have done that. But I'm That's curious that Ken said we should try to go for Traore. I'm surprised at this point we're not linked with him either.
With who?
With Traore,
Oh, we
was
had
a
an
winger
option
or
and we
left
didn't
winger.
use him. Like, imagine having an option, don't use him, and then pay extra because you want him. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised because, like, and then the club complains about money, by the way. But it is what it is. So that's the news. We started off with bad news. We ended with worse news, or ended close to
no, no, no,
ending.
not us, not us. Romeo brought in the
Yeah,
ugly news. Yeah, we're
I was
we're just
like,
here. We're just two guys with a microphone.
yeah, man, it's not even working, by the way. Which I'm happy for today. I'm happy that it's not working. It's uh, it's actually unbelievable. Like, oh my god, I was getting to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fall for it. I'm gonna say, Di Maria, you know. I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk
Oh,
myself into it, you know, to be
I got you.
positive.
No, so someone said that we sold them for Vlahovic. Technically, we didn't receive the money for Kulisevsky yet. They haven't exercised their option to buy him, so technically, we did not use Kulisevsky money. We used Bentancur money. We did that, but yeah, we did not use Kulisevsky money for Vlahovic. But
It's
oh, kid,
like again, it's a start. It can get better, but going off the last couple of days, it can also get much worse. Like, let's be honest.
so
Also, people like the video. The lake, I've said he's gonna stay. I still think he's gonna stay, but it can change really, really quickly now. It can change really quickly. It can change quickly,
yeah,
and you read stuff every day from good sources saying, they're focusing on the attack now. Fine, but now you just need to spend more money
yep,
on the winger or whatever you want to call it, whatever it's gonna be. You need to fix your midfield because Pogba alone is not good enough. You need to ship out players. You need to replace Chiellini. You need to somehow get rid of Sandro Pellegrini. It's a lot of work.
then yeah, you have to ship out Arthur as well, and then we don't even know what. Yeah, Murad says we need a new sporting director. Unfortunately, I don't even know what we're gonna get as far as a new sporting director. I don't even know who we could get as far as a sporting director goes. But um, yeah. Oh, the option was triggered this season. I think what we're gonna receive the funds for Kulisevsky at this point, some point now. Then, if the qualification clause, I thought that was next season where they had to finish fourth or better. But cool, good to know. But yeah, Pasta. Remember, we were linked to the M word, Andy Cardi. Things can change.
I rather
Yeah,
get like that. That's not as worse. I'm sorry
yeah.
because we
I
needed a
don't know.
striker back then, and we had no money apparently. So I was like, yeah, loan him until the end of the year. Let's see what's gonna be. You know. Um. Uh, yeah. Let's see. Like, it's not a done deal, by the way. It's
Yeah, no,
not. But
we're being realistic, guys. Like we're not gonna be like those like YouTube channels or those Juve channels that are just sitting there like, oh my God, we're gonna get Di Maria and then we're gonna get Anthony and then we're gonna get Van Dyke in defense and we're gonna do this
no.
and we're gonna
But
do that.
what I'm gonna say now, like the Berardi thing is not a done deal, but there are not a lot of options out there. Let us be realistic. It's Berardi, it's Saniolo. Those are the names. Like, there's nothing else we're being linked with. And again, it can change, but I don't see the club going for a player like Anthony and pay the big money. I'm not seeing the club doing that. So we need to take that Berardi transfer really seriously. It's not a done deal, but the fact that the club started talks with Berardi, we can just scrape off Di Maria. I think we shouldn't even discuss that anymore. It's done.
Yeah.
He's not coming. It's gonna be. And again, the Berardi thing can go really, really quickly, and that pisses me off even more. Especially when you took so much time for Di Maria, who's a free agent, but like Berardi wants to leave, Sassuolo wants to sell. Like he's number one on the list. Sassuolo are willing to let go before going to Raspadori and all the other players. So it can be done really, really quickly. He wants to leave, Sassuolo wants to sell. It can be done quickly, you know? That's
Yeah,
what pisses me
I'm
off.
cu- I'm curious on why like all of a sudden that Berardi wants to leave. Like it's not like he had like a monumental season and was amazing. So I don't know. That's
It's
just
his
I
last
always thought it
chance.
was weird.
It's obvious. It's his last chance. It's his last chance to get a good payday and play for a big club. And we are
I gotcha.
apparently being that club who gonna like.
Someone
I
said
just
here
see it in
Liverpool
front of me,
Sporting.
drawing
No,
City in
no,
the
no.
Champions
I
League,
gotcha.
going away to the Etihad with Berardi on the wing. I just can see it in front of me.
Well, I mean, Joe Cancelo is going to be like guarding him, and I don't think Joe Cancelo can really defend that well. So Berardi has his chances.
Yeah, Nadim brings up a good point. He was like he was actively, basically, I even demanding to be sold to Fiorentina. Like, I don't want to shit on Fiorentina, but like that's not the level we're gonna be at. You know, like I'm not. I'm just not a big fan of Berardi. It's very underwhelming, and not even people say, oh, because we were linked with Di Maria first. Not even that. If that was the first option, I think it would have been even worse. By the way, um, it's just I'm not a big fan of him.
Yeah, Misak, I think because yeah, you said 15 goals, 10 assists, but he usually does get double-digit assists and double-digit goals. It's usually kind of his MO with Sassuolo, but it's mostly due to their style of play. The thing is, I don't know how that translates here with us because like Sassuolo is live and die by the press. Like they press high, force turnovers, and it's like a one or two pass action to score. I don't know if he could do that with us. That's my only concern about that.
But other like my issue is also like Inter are getting Dybala. They're getting apparently Lukaku back on loan from Chelsea.
No, there's
Maybe
no way.
yeah,
There's
well,
no way they get both of them. There's no way.
no, but they're gonna sell Lautaro. Like one is gonna leave.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
sell Lautaro because they need the money. Like other teams are improving. They will improve, and we already have a gap with those teams. Is it Berardi that much of an improvement that's gonna close that gap? I don't
No,
believe
because
so.
you would have to compare Berardi to someone that's kind of similar with them, which is Chanaloglu, because they almost kind of play the same way. They shoot from distance. They're assist machines, but Chanaloglu is more of a center midfielder now at this point. But because I would say Chanaloglu is better than Berardi, and then it depends on who Inter replaces on the right or left, or who replaces
I'm
Perisic
I'm
at
just not
Inter.
a big
But
fan of like
yeah,
when I sit back and watch Berardi play. I'm not like wow. Like I just can't. And again, I'm not sitting. I'm not saying I was sitting back and I see Benedeschi or Morata play on the wing. I'm like wow, amazing. I'm not saying that, but that's why I want improvement. I don't
yeah,
want to
no, no,
sit
no.
like I just don't watch. I don't like to watch Berardi play football. I just don't like him as a player. The way he plays football is not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. Again, we have a lot of those players in the club, by the way. That's why we need to ship out of. We need to ship them out, like a lot of them, especially in midfield, left back. So it's not just Berardi, but like every time I watch him play, even for Italy at the Euros, I'm like, how is he starting? Like I like he's very passive, and when you brought on Kies, I'm like, it's a like
Totally different
the
team.
difference is like wow,
Totally
you know,
different team.
he can take on a man. He has speed, like he has determination, like he's completely different. He's very active. When I watch Berardi, I'm like, are you awake? Like, are you ready? Like the game has
Yeah.
started. Like it's very, very underwhelming when you see him
Well,
play,
think of
especially
it
in
this
Europe.
way. You like expect with the Euro, we'll use the Euro because it's the only thing we have reference on. So it's like he's Chiesa. They took off Berardi, put in Chiesa. Chiesa single-handedly won that game against Austria,
No, they did.
like
He did.
single-handedly. And then it's like um Chiesa and them. I think Chiesa and him both. No, Chiesa benched him against Spain and Belgium. Or no, I think Berardi did. Hey, chat, did Berardi start against Belgium in the Euros, or was it Chiesa that started? Because I know Insigne played. I wonder, did
Against
Chiesa start
Belgium,
against Belgium? Yeah.
he started. He started.
So yeah, Berardi started, and then like Chiesa came in, and that's when, and then I think Chiesa was able to press their back line, which pretty much bottled Belgium in the second half. Where it's like Berardi, everything had to go when Berardi played against them. It literally forced everything into Insigne's side. And then Spain, I think that was literally the Chiesa show against Spain with that goal. And then the same thing against England. I mean, it's just unfortunately Chiesa didn't get that one shot that went off Pickford's left shoulder. That if that was just a little bit onto
Yeah,
the edge, that would have been a goal. But like Chiesa, you know what you get with Chiesa. For Berardi, it's like if that's what I'm seeing from you at the top tier in the Euros, like he had a decent game against Turkey, but like Turkey's defense is atrocious, and like Demiral's their best defender, so that literally tells you about Turkey. But I don't like I if the club is setting their standard to look for a player to play against Empoli or those smaller teams, then that's kind of sad in my opinion, and that's where Berardi fits in. But like I don't envision, Berardi taking on and winning a game against Inter or Milan. That's going to be Chiesa or Vlahovic that do the magic. But like I don't know. Like maybe we're being a little bit too pessimistic on them, but like we're just going off of what we saw. And like Italy, the reason why Italy didn't play against Portugal in the final for the World Cup qualifiers is because Berardi did not run up and shoot an open net ball. He literally tried passing it into the net. That's just as bad as Bernadeschi trying to dribble the ball against Lyon in the Champions League. Like that is that level of bottling right there. Instead of taking a hard shot, and it was on his left foot too. It was at the angle where he normally shoots. He tried to side foot it and pass it into the net. So it's like that right there tells me a lot about a player. So like I can get chewed up for it. That's fine. But like again, I told Ali the last time we talked about Bernadeschi. I said Bernadeschi died the Lyon game when he tried to dribble the ball into the net for me. That's when I was like, this guy needs to get sold.
yeah. I was at that point way early, but that's just me. Again, I was never a fan of Bernadeschi. Never. From the get go, when he was a
Yeah.
Fiorentina, I was like, that's not a player I love to watch. But it is what it is. It happened. He's gone. Thank God he's gone. But now I'm like, oh my God, we're bringing not the next guy because I think Berardi is better than Bernadeschi.
Yeah.
He will
Well,
give you
yeah.
more. But it's like that's not what I want. Like that's absolutely like going from Di Maria to this is for so many reasons because Berardi is gonna stay here for 3, 4 years. So I'm like, is this a long term plan we have? Berardi until he's 32. That's a long term plan we have at the club. And if that's the case, I'm like, that's not good. Like that's not what I was expecting when Alcon and all those guys were saying we have a plan. We're gonna bring the club back to its glory. Basically, we have the backing, from X or blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, if
I
that's a
don't think
3 year
so.
plan Arifabeni was speaking about, or Kiru. No, it was Arifabeni.
Yeah, it wasn't even Allegri said he's like, I need 2 years.
Yeah, but like I like Arifabeni said 3 years plan. It's if this is the 3 year plan. Oh my god, it's not gonna be the 3 years I had in mind. Like I will say this, there still can be good years, but it's not gonna be the 3 years I had in mind. When they said we will get back, blah blah blah, 3 year plan, we know what we're gonna do, all those things. I envision completely different things. I did not envision us winning the Champions League in 3 years. That's not what I was saying. But I envisioned us, we're going to compete again, we're going to win titles, and we're going to make life difficult for teams in Europe once again.
Yeah.
And at
No,
the
I got you.
moment, I'm like, that's not the case. That's not the case. It's actually not the case. But
Hey, Hasta, if he does play good, like we said earlier, we'll make a YouTube short saying that, hey, this was us, and this is us apologizing for it. I have no
yeah,
problem
I
saying
have no problem with that. But like,
because yeah,
I
because
remember someone said that against to me in the chat about Pellegrini. He didn't prove me wrong once. Someone told me that about Bernadeschi after a good month in December. What happened after that? Like, if he proves me wrong, I'll be happy because it means we're winning, and I would look at it like an idiot, and I'll take it. But I'm not gonna
yeah,
say now I'm
like
happy just in case I don't want to get clipped or look like an idiot. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. No, I got you. Hey, I was the same way with Ronaldo. When we got Ronaldo back then, I was like this huge giddy Ronaldo fanboy. But like, hey, I told people whenever Ronaldo played a stinker, I'd sit there and be like, Ronaldo sucked. There's a game that Ronaldo sucked, and I was the first person to say it. So, hey, I don't mind looking stupid. I'm just giving a take. If I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong. I'll be the first guy here to sit here and say, hey, Hasta, shout out Hasta. 6 months ago, I told him that Berardi sucks, and then he actually
Yeah,
ended up doing really well.
I'll do that. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I give my opinion. If my opinion is completely wrong, it's wrong. That's why it's called an opinion.
Yep.
Like, it's an
So
opinion.
I got something. This is more of fantasy football more than anything, just because of the names. But like, so for example, right now, Manchester City hasn't really found a contract solution for Riyad Mahrez. He's 31 and he's valued at 40. And then the
Yeah,
other name
I'll pay
is
it.
Mane. And then the other name is Mane, who is valued around 44 million, and he's out of contract. So this probably won't happen. I doubt that we would move for any of these guys just due to their age. But who would you pick?
Who was that? Maris and um.
Mane.
Oh my god! I know it's fantasy, but I just love Maris. I think he's
He
technically like I don't want to shit on Mane because, but like I've seen Maris. No, it's difficult. It's difficult.
see,
But I just prefer to watch Maris play instead of Mane. It's just a preference,
yep.
stylistically, you know.
He single-handedly carried that Leicester team that won the league that year. Like, oh my goodness, like his passes, his shot are just absolutely
Yeah,
unreal.
like, but Mane is fantastic, and people. I know someone had a discussion. I think it was on Talksport saying it's Liverpool that is making Mane look good. I'm like, have you seen him when he was at Southampton? Like he's special. Like he can play. He can play. I just like stylistically, I prefer Mahrez. But it's not gonna happen. But if the price is 40 mil, he can play another 3 4 years easily. In my opinion, he's that good. But
Question
again,
is how much would you offer? So like for example, how many years would you give Mahrez and at how much? Like you can say like 7 plus bonuses or 8 plus bonuses or whatnot. So
I don't know. I think he's on 6 already at the moment, something like
yeah.
that. 7, 6. Yeah, you're gonna need to give him at least 10 for 3 years. Otherwise, he's not coming because he will have offers. Like if he can leave, Arsenal will be all over that, and they will offer a lot of money. Basically, it's not gonna happen. By the way, but
Oh,
like,
hey, Honey's chat was hilarious. He's like, Berardi waited to move from Sassuolo until he's 28, so now he can actually play for Allegri because Allegri doesn't play youngsters. That's funny.
yeah, that's why he wanted Di Maria. Ah, fuck. You know what? What's the worst part of it? I didn't even want to do a live today. I like I'm very tired. Like I'm not doing it. Like because I'm not gonna leave the channel, but I'm gonna you know not be on it as much because I'm very busy in my personal life. So I need to take a break. So I was like, I'm gonna skip one today. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Nothing is really happening. It's gonna be just like a Q&A. The moment that I asked you, can you join? The Di Maria came out. Di Maria news. Now when we're live, this comes out. I'm like, oh my god, I needed to take that break today. It was the moment. I messed it up, and I'm gonna leave for a few days. Not leave, but like take a step back for a little bit. Good things are gonna happen. So that's good for the channel because I'm gone. That's when the
Yeah,
good things happen.
we're gonna so like chat when you guys join in on the late night shows with Justin and Julian, we just need to spam Mares in the chat until Julian says it because like usually so how it works is like Ali starts it off and then Julian says it and then it somehow manifests. So like we're gonna have like a pact here chat. So like every time Julian is on a live, just spam Mares 3-year deal for 7 plus 3 bonuses and it'll happen eventually. So like let's just do that. Cause like, we just gotta spam it until Julian says it like repeatedly.
Yeah. Um. Oh my god. No, I think we're gonna wrap it off. Uh. It's not good. It's not a good life. Um,
Let's
I
let's
envisioned
have
it to be better, but
yeah.
gonna
Let's
wrap
have
it
a
up.
little, let's have a little chat. So hey, so if any of you guys still play football, what position do you play, and how often do you play? Just I'm curious to see how
Oh,
frequently the
I made
chat
I
goes
made
for
a
it.
poll and I forgot about the poll. So the poll: do you want Berardi? 19% said no. 81 said no. 81. No, excuse me. 80 said no. 20 said yes. I'm
I
like,
thought you were about
what?
to say 80 said yes. I was like, what?
Like, who spammed the chat? Like, I was on the wrong channel. I was on the Juve official channel apparently. Before we're gonna leave, people, if you want to continue the discussion in the Discord members group, you can become a member like Dash, Hanin, everybody with a badge alongside a name. Because after live, I think it will go off in the Discord chat. I'm not me. I'm going to bed. It's, it's very late. Justin is screwed because he needs to make a daily for the morning on Berardi, his favorite guy. So that's his problem, not mine. So if you want to become a member, become a member. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We will be back live. Not me. I think Julian. I think he's back, so he will do a live. So yeah, I don't care about him, about his well-being. The one day nobody is available and I'm doing it. This happens. But tomorrow there will be a live. There will be a daily extra in the morning from Justin and a normal daily later on than the live as usual. So yeah, Berardi, from Di Maria to Berardi. I want to thank everybody in the chat for joining. I want to thank Dash for coming on and sharing the pain. I was suffering at the moment, so thanks for joining.
Absolutely.
I think maybe let me think. What's Monday? I need to get my schedule in my head really quickly.
That's interesting. We got a lot of people that play forward.
Yeah, I think on Monday or like next week we're gonna do like a fan forum. So we're gonna have 4 people on from the Discord group to have a serious discussion or a debate show with 4 people because we have not done that in a while. So stay tuned for that, and then we will see you back tomorrow. Ciao, guys.